when we're talking about assets and debts, we're talking about all assets and debts, whether that's real estate, investment accounts, retirement, credit cards, loans, all of the stuff that makes up the marital estate that they have. And so no matter how they do their divorce, they've got to do financial disclosures. So they are still disclosing all of their assets and their debts and their income and expense information, but we're doing that in a mediation setting. And that allows them to be much more creative about what goes into it. So there's a lot of benefits with mediation, kind of that first one being creativity and the flexibility. So if you go to court, a lot of times, especially since we're, talking about real estate here, the judges don't have the time, nor do they really, honestly, sometimes care to figure out creative options. They can speak to this more, but to come up with creative options around who's going to stay in the house, who's going to, mortgage, payments, all these different things. And if they don't have the time and they don't have that, they're most likely just going to say, sell the house, because they're not going to get into it. Well, in mediation, we're able to come up with a lot more creative options. And, speaking to what Jason talked about on the lending side, I have a lot of clients who might choose and agree to stay on a loan for a certain period of time. Or like he was talking about, they oftentimes might refinance or do things before they file for divorce because they are working together. And so they're able to have that conversation and communicate and figure out, okay, what are their goals, right? We talk a lot about like interests. So the idea of what are their interests? What do they want out of this process? And then it's figuring out, well, how do we reach that? And there are many ways to do it if they actually, are able to communicate and with the help of a third party, figure out what they want. And so we're able to be really creative and figure out what those options are going to look like.